guys! Welcome sa aming channel! At kung bago lang kayo, please don't forget to subscribe at pakipush na rin po yung bell sa baba. So sa gabing ito, magluluto po si Zach ng chicken Sotanghon soup a la Zachary Beldy. So tara, samahan niyo po kami.
Guys, sorry I'm not used to hosting, but I'll try my best here. We're cooking chicken Sotanghon soup. Yes. So, let me go over the ingredients with you here. I'm going to start up here with so in the soup you put cabbage, carrots, scallions, or green onions, whatever you prefer, regular onions, and that is celery, shredded chicken, which I'll tell you right now, I watched my wife do it, and she boiled the chicken in water with bay leaves, and that we're going to actually use the broth left over from the boiling of the chicken for the soup later. So yeah, so bay leaves, water, and chicken breast, and then you shred the chicken when it's done. And then we got the noodles, and these chicken bouillon, which that's just a basic brand you can get from the grocery store that we're using today. Fresh chopped garlic, who doesn't like garlic? Black pepper, and then, boy, here we go. This is, the main purpose of this is for coloring of the soup, but I smelt it and I think it's going to give some flavor too, but the main reason is for color, and it is called that. Yeah, if you want to try to read that, you can. What's it made out of? So we got that, and then we got obviously cooking oil, and then fish sauce. So there's a lot that goes into this soup, but once it's all done, it's going to be masarap. Alright guys, I've never cooked this soup before. I watched my wife cook it last night, and once it was done I really fell in love with the soup. It's very delicious. So we already got the broth made, chicken shredded, so the next step I'll get into is a simple process of sauteing the onions and garlic. If you don't like sauteed onions and garlic, there's something wrong with you. And there we go. This recipe was something that I thought was just going to be okay. And once all the flavors of the vegetables and chicken and broth and all that came together, my mind was blown. It was so good. We made a big pot last night. We thought we were going to have leftovers, but what happened, Mama? I ate it all, didn't I? I had 3 bowls of it. Alright, time for garlic. Whenever you're doing a recipe with garlic, everybody gets scared they're going to use too much. Honestly, by the time you cook whatever you're cooking with garlic, the flavor dies down on it. So we'd rather go overboard on garlic than not have enough. Like right there. That's a lot of garlic, but by the time the soup's done, you won't even notice. So once the onions and garlic start to brown up like that, you gotta throw in the celery. Obviously you do onions and garlic first because they take a little while to brown. And browning onions and garlic really gives everything a lot of flavor. So there's the celery. Alright, so the next part is to add the chicken to the sauteed onion, garlic, and celery. Look at that, doesn't that look delicious? Golden brown. Alright. Shredded chicken. Boiled and shredded. People don't know it, but boiling chicken actually makes it more tender than baking it. When you bake it, you just dry it out. And when you boil it, you're actually adding water to it, so it actually is more, it's juicier than if you bake it. Once you get it all mixed up, I'm going to add a little black pepper to it for flavoring. There's the black pepper. The one thing you'll learn about black pepper, you either use too little or you use too much. Very rarely do you use just the right amount. I'm going to go with that though and call it good. Alright, now we're going to add the broth to the mix. Everything's cooked together very well. So the broth is, like we said before, just water. We boiled the chicken breast in there and add some bay leaves. We're going to add that right to the mix. There we go. Let that cook a little while. We want to bring that to a boil, right? So now that the broth and all the other ingredients are cooking down together, we're going to go on to the next step and add the bouillon. Just your basic chicken bouillon. Ours kind of fell apart, so I'm going to have to kind of work at getting it in there. No big deal. And then fish sauce for a little more flavoring. I'll mix in the bouillon there. And fish sauce is kind of to taste. We estimate 2 tablespoons. We just do 2 splashes. 1, 2. Fish sauce gives a lot of flavor to dishes. Alright, so next we're going to add in the noodles. The mungo noodles. They're made out of mungo beans. What I've noticed, they hold up a little better than rice noodles or anything like that. Yeah, you just put those in there and let them cook on down into the soup. All right, so now that that's cooked down together, we're gonna add the coloring, which is it's a bean, right? Some kind of bean. They say it's just for coloring, but I think it gives it a little flavor too. Can't remember the name of it, but it's the same kind of bean they use in red curry. Add that in there. And then the final step is adding the cabbage, carrots, and scallions.
Mommy, do this.
We're going to stir that in. And then let it cook for... How long, Mama, should we let it cook? About 20 minutes. Let that tender up.
10 to 15.
All right. There's the Sotanghon finished right there. We cooked it last night for the first time, and the reason we're cooking it again is because we instantly fell in love with it. So last night we used a little less ingredient, so it wasn't as thick as this, but we decided tonight we want to put a little more noodle, a little more chicken, a little more veggies in there, so it's a little thicker. And if you want a modern take on this dish, what I do is I add a little hot sauce to it. This one right here, it's delicious in there. So when I pour my bowl of soup, I add a couple dashes of hot sauce, and it really adds a lot of flavor. Doesn't need the flavor, it's delicious as it is, but that's up to you. Alright, thank you guys for watching me cook a recipe that I just kind of got thrown into, but it turned out.
Susunod naman natin ang chicken.
You want chicken?